holding these events and informing so many people about what is happening and what we can do to change things. I want to first start off by acknowledging that I live on the occupied and stolen lands of the Musqueam, the Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples, whose lands were never surrendered under any form of law and continue to be occupied to this day. I'm also bringing greetings on behalf of our president and our provincial executive and over 85,000 workers across BC who are members of our union and who support the international struggle of workers, as well as the fight for workers in Iran to have the freedom to form a union, to not be imprisoned or executed for advocating for basic human rights. And we support the women who are fighting for equality and for justice, and for all those who are part of this movement for a better world. As we gather here, thank you. As we gather just a few days away from International Workers' Day on May 1st, it's important to celebrate the resistance of workers all over the world and to recommit to not just making our lives better under capitalism, but doing away with this exploitive and oppressive economic system for good. We must build a new world where workers directly control their work and their lives in the ashes of the old. And we have to be vigilant in our efforts to organize as a class to confront the capitalists who make our lives so miserable. The work that you are all doing to bring to light the conditions of workers in Iran and their strength and courage to resist all forms of oppression is admirable. The more we can do to support each other, the stronger we will be. And the BCGEU endorses the charter that Iranian people are calling for and wanting to see implemented, and for the release of all political prisoners and to see the Iranian government expelled from the ILO. We stand with you in those calls and demands and seek justice for people in Iran.
Yay!
The Canadian Labour Congress Convention is going to be held in Montreal just a few short weeks from now, and thousands of workers in trade unions across Canada will be gathered to set the course of the Canadian labour movement for the next few years. And we submitted a resolution to this convention with the support of activists who are fighting here to draw the attention to what workers are struggling for in Iran. And this is the resolution that we have sent to the Canadian Labour Congress through our national union. And I'm going to read it for you. Because for over 43 years, the regime of Iran has systematically violated human rights. Activists for workers' rights, women's rights, political rights, labor rights, and human rights have been imprisoned, executed, tortured, and terrorized. And because the world is watching the revolution unfold on the streets of Iran for women, life, freedom, and the demand to overthrow the dictatorship by the people of Iran since 2022, the Canadian Labour Congress will condemn the atrocities and violence inflicted by the Iranian regime, resulting in the death of over 300 civilians in just 2 months for protesting the government and advocating for women's rights. Shame. And the Canadian Labour Congress will lobby with international labour organizations to expel Iran from the International Labour Organization.
Yes!
And the Canadian Labour Congress will stand with people of Iran in their fight for freedom, encourage unions to engage in solidarity actions, such as this one, and to provide financial assistance to their strike fund and solidarity organizations. And we will be speaking in favor, and we know that there will be other activists with us to speak in favor and to have this resolution passed so that the entirety of the Canadian labor movement will be behind the Iranian people.
Yes.
And as we approach May Day, I just want to encourage everyone here to get involved in building our movement for freedom for working people so that we can be stronger when we stand beside workers internationally, including workers in Iran. So for those who may not know, on Monday, there will be a rally at Vancouver City Hall where workers will be demanding living wages, renters' rights, affordable housing, and real action on reconciliation, equity, the toxic drug supply, and real action on climate change. And there will also be an event that is organized by a group called the Worker Solidarity Network that will include food, music, and workshops at the Grandview Church. And it will be, there will also be workshops, and I'll be leading a workshop if you want to attend, on solidarity unionism that's being run by the industrial workers of the world. So I hope to see many familiar faces from here today and new faces as we organize, build our power, and strengthen our global working class movement. Finally, on International Workers' Day, we must remember it is international working class solidarity that is our strength and means to freedom. Women, life, freedom!
Women, life, freedom!
Women, life, freedom! All power to the workers!
Thank you.